In this video, guys, we're going to look at the different business models that retail brokers employ to make the most money. Stay tuned. Hey traders, a warm welcome to you. So you may have heard of A, B and C models for retail brokers, but how do they make money and what is each model actually about? What is the commercial decision that comes behind it and how does it affect you as a retail trader and how does it affect them on the other side of the deal? So let's look at A model first. So A is a profit from the spread only model. In other words, you go in and you buy euro US dollar and the spread is 0.6 pips or one pip. Probably shouldn't be paying 1 pip to be honest, but let's call it 0.6 pips. And the broker will pass that trade straight through to a bank via an ECN or whatever it may be, however they've got the liquidity set up. And they will make money on the difference between the price that they are dealing at and the price that they're giving it to you at. So the spread might be 0.6 to you, but to them it might be 0.01. So by the time they've added all their fees in terms of processing, running the business, all the costs, they might be paying 0.3, for example. I'm making these numbers up on the top of my head. And so they're making that extra 0.3 on the spread and multiply that by all of the deals they're doing, then they've actually got a business there. Now, of course, there's a cost implication to that because they've got to pay themselves every time they take a trade. They've got to pay a commission, they've got to pay a spread, all this kind of stuff. But it's it's the most desirable from a retail perspective because ultimately you are buying into a pool of liquidity. You're just going via a broker because you're buying probably £100,000 worth, 100,000 euros worth, as opposed to 100 million. So you don't have access to this other stuff. Normally, a broker is just giving you access by giving you that and adding a little bit of a charge to it. It's like the wholesale retail model, isn't it? If you go to a farmer and say, "Hey, I want a pint of milk," he's going to look at you and go, "No, mate, I'm a dairy farmer. I'm not a supermarket." Whereas you go to a supermarket and get a pint of milk, makes sense. They're buying it in wholesale, they're packaging it and all that other kind of stuff involved in it, but you get the idea. So similar wholesale to retail model. Now model B is slightly different, and we've talked about this in other videos about a little bit more about this one, is the hedge model, and we're trading against clients. So because there's lots of flow of clients, you've got someone going long FTSE, someone going short FTSE, someone going long euro, short euro, US dollar. There's a lot of, and if we think of the FX market itself, you've got euro against multiple pairs, USD against multiple pairs. There are lots of intricacies, so they can work out, hey, we are net long euro based on all the aggregate of all of our trades. We are net long USD, or we're net this, and they can work out their exposure. Now, because they're aggregating everybody's trades, they're kind of trading against the client, because what they'll do is they'll say, okay, we've got a scale, if you like, and we don't want to be exposed more than X amount on one way or another. So we don't want to be more exposed on euro more than £2 million or whatever the number may be. I don't know what the number is, but it's a commercial decision for them to make. So as long as everyone's trades lie in between that and they're not exposed over their amount, they're just going to keep it and they're not going to go outside the market. Now, if suddenly everyone starts going long euro US dollar and it goes outside of their permitted parameters, they're probably going to go to the market and hedge some of that to bring that risk back into a measurable amount for them. Now, why don't they hedge all of it, you ask? They don't hedge all of it because the majority of retail traders are losing money. So it's really in their interest to take the other side of the trade as opposed to hedging it away. Now, of course, that's not great for retail because retail don't want that to happen. You want your broker to be on your side, not against you. Now, I get that a little bit, but of course it's aggregated. So if you're a good trader, good retail trader, you're going to be one of the ones that's taking some liquidity away from the other guys. So they're not necessarily going to pick on you as such unless you go in big size, and then you'll get the old letter that comes out and says, we're closing your account, and we don't have to give you a reason why. And it comes through the post, and then the next day you've got no account, you have to pull your money out. But generally speaking, you're okay with that. This is a way better model than you're in this, who are just executing, they're not trading against you. They want you to win. So they generally want everybody to win, not just one individual. They want everybody to win, because the more you win, the more volume you're going to trade, the bigger your positions, the more spread they're going to make. Whereas these guys don't really specifically want you to win. They don't care, or a person, one or two people wins. They don't want everybody to win, because they're not hedging everything and they'd probably lose overall. Now, a lot of the people who are running this model say that it's good because it's flexible. It allows them to be flexible, allows them to do things and adjust and tweak and kind of hedge themselves off if they need to with big risk. And I get it from a commercial perspective, but for retail, it's a little bit less desirable for the reasons we laid out earlier. And it's a bit more lucrative for companies to use a B type model. And a C is basically anything else to extract value. Now, a lot of brokers out there will use a combination of all three. They might say, okay, we're going to use 70% of this, 20% this, and 10% this, and they might mix and match, and depending on conditions as well, they might adjust and change. But anyway, those are the most popular models, A and B. Have a look to see which one your broker does. This is the most preferable one if you can get it. This is the one which is the most transparent. It's when the broker's on your side. And like I say, InterTrader's one that does that. There are potentially others, but that's a good one. Anyway, guys, A, B, and C models for retail brokers, how they make money. See you next one. Take care. Bye-bye.